Hey guys, so I broke my leg and I feel like this video is super not professional at all, but I'm just gonna kind of like play around with my situation. And I thought I would share a little bit about what happened as well as what I'm doing during this very challenging season. If you're new here, my name is Ashley, and on my channel, I share how I feed my family the carnivore diet and also our homesteading journey. We live in northern Alberta. We've been building our homestead for the past 11 years, and we are developing our homestead slowly so that we can start producing the carnivore diet. So if that's something that interests you, stick around, and also I hope that maybe you glean something good from this video. So basically, last Friday I was just playing with my kids' youth group, and I was playing baseball, and I was having a really good time. I had forgotten how much I had missed playing baseball. And anyway, one of the kids slid into my leg, and immediately when I stood up, because I thought that maybe I dislocated it, I stood up very quickly because I wanted to see if I could pop it back into place before I thought about it for too long. And it just felt like my leg was sliding apart. It's probably the strangest, grossest feeling I've ever felt. So yeah, if you've ever broken a bone, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, because since breaking it, I've talked to a few people that have broken bones, and they're like, oh yeah, that's what it feels like. You just can't put any weight on it, you know, if it's a leg or ankle or whatever, like knee, in my case, a knee. So I shouldn't have stood on it because I think that depressed the bone. So I not only have a broken bone, but I also then have a fractured bone, but then I also have a depressed bone. So that was really dumb of me. I shouldn't have done that. And from now on, if I ever have this happen again, I'll just know, I'll know to not get up, not to try to stand up or walk around or anything like that, and certainly not try to pop it back in place. So that was really silly of me. So anyway, that's how it happened, and they wanted to do surgery. They wanted to put some screws in and a plate so that he could raise the bone up, and I made the decision not to. I'm still not sure if I made the right decision, but I just know that I didn't want to have metal in my body. It probably would be perfectly fine if I had metal in my body. I mean, I think I know that, but I also know that I'm really sensitive to a lot of things, including a lot of different kinds of metals. And I was thinking, you know, if I did react to it and the knee started to swell or it started to get really itchy inside of there, yeah, I just wasn't sure how I would handle that. And he did tell me that he could remove all the hardware, but then of course that requires a second surgery. And I do have aversions to surgery, to opening up my body. So I hope I did the right thing. I think eating the carnivore diet is going to help me out a lot, because I've been doing a ton of research on rebuilding cartilage and bone density. Like, here's something really cool. And I apologize, because this video, I'm just going to talk about some things that I've been reading about, also things that I'm recalling that I've read years ago. I'm not going to have the research or anything like that in the description of the video. I'm not going to have the links or anything. However, that being said, as I'm researching things and I do smaller videos just to get that, just to share like one or two pieces of research at a time, just to make it easier to digest and easier for me to get out there, and maybe easier or more enjoyable for you to listen to and then look at the research. I will put those links in, because I don't want to just say something and not have something to back it up. So years ago, I had read that you can actually rebuild bone density by walking on uneven ground, and it's really good to walk barefoot on uneven ground. And of course, I'm sure by now so many people have heard about the benefits of grounding, how getting in touch with the earth, skin to earth contact is amazing for inflammation and blood circulation. And I know for me, after having 8 pregnancies, I have a lot of varicose veins. I also have a few blood clots that give me problems. I'll get pinching in my legs and discomfort, as well as a little bit of edema and a little bit of kind of general pain from swelling and inflammation. And I know when I am walking barefoot, and that is something I do every day. I can't while I'm in bed, and I'm going to get to how I'm going to solve that problem in just a minute here. I know that has made a huge difference in keeping me from needing to get surgery on my legs, because I do have some pretty bad blood clots on my right leg, not the leg that I broke. I broke my left leg, or not my left leg, which is my knee that I broke. So I have problems now, I guess, in both of my knees. So I'm going to continue walking barefoot, and I actually wear consistently these sandals, and they have like a little copper plug at the bottom, and that copper is supposed to allow the frequency from the earth to travel up through the shoe and then through the band. I'm pretty sure the band itself has copper in it, but and I wear those sandals only because when I'm out working, or if we're hiking, I even use those for hiking, and I need just a little bit of tread. I want to be able to like climb up a rock or up a trail or something like that. That's why I use those, but it is better and obviously free just to walk barefoot outside, or just even if you struggle walking or anything like that, just to go and sit down on the ground. So I can't do that right now because I am really struggling with stairs, and because I opted out of surgery, I'm very concerned about slipping and coming down on that leg and further. It's kind of like it's the tibia plateau. So I've pressed it. Basically, like if this is my tibia of my knee, I've pressed this side down. No, it's the outside of it. So yeah, it's like this. So I've pressed it down. And so I'm very concerned about coming down on that and then further pressing it, because I think I would definitely need surgery if I went even further. It was one of the lower depressions, like 2 to 4 millimeters or something like that. So anyway, yeah, I'm very nervous to take stairs, and I've shared that we built our house. So like the stairs at the back, they're properly like the right size or whatever for stairs. There's a lot of them though, and I'm really nervous about falling down them. And then in the front of the house, we have a set of stairs, but they're really steep because they were just put in as sort of like a temporary stair for us. Like Jeff's dad built those just so we could get out the front door, and we plan to finish that part of the house with better stairs that lead down to a deck. So basically what all that means is just that I can't readily get to the outdoors. So I've been looking into grounding sheets. I don't know if I have any viewers that use those. If you have any experience with that, I would love to know. If you have any brands that you could suggest to me, because honestly, for a long time, I've been reading about grounding sheets, and I just didn't think I honestly didn't think they actually worked. In fact, something I was kind of concerned about regarding using grounding products was the fact that even though it was grounded, it was plugged in and grounded to the house, or I guess the base of the house or whatever. My concern was that other appliances in the house would, whatever that, I don't know what I'm trying to say, electromagnetic field or frequency or whatever, that as well would be running through my body. But I'm kind of wondering if maybe that doesn't much matter, because we have so much in the air anyway through, like all the signals that we have to contend with today anyway. So yeah, I'm kind of debating getting some grounding sheets so that I can access the ability to ground. Because that helps so much with inflammation, and I'm trying to deal with inflammation in my legs so that I can heal the bone. Besides grounding in those grounding sheets, what I had mentioned before about the walking on uneven ground, I just sort of got into a tangent on the grounding, because I was saying that something I have tried to make a point of since I read that research has been to walk barefoot on uneven ground. And in fact, when we built our greenhouse, I was going to do a living floor. And we started to very quickly see that would not work, because it would just get really muddy just because of the situation. It was hard to keep it dry, especially when we get flooding and stuff like that. So we took the living floor out and put down rocks, so like smooth pebble rocks. So I'm going to make a point of it when I can finally walk to get down into my greenhouse and walk barefoot on those rocks. And yeah, I'm going to look that study back up about rebuilding bone density by walking on uneven ground, and I'll share that in another video. But like I said, this one, I'm just sharing what happened, and I'm sharing a few things that I'm going to try to do for healing my bone. Although bone is just, it's going to heal anyway, it's going to heal naturally. But for me, it's that I'm going to see if I can actually rebuild that cartilage, because the surgeon did tell me that because the bone is depressed, he's really concerned about me getting arthritis and possibly needing a knee replacement down the road. So I'm wondering, eating the carnivore diet, eating a low inflammatory diet, staying in ketosis, taking supplements. Like I recently was reading about colostrum and how it contains the human growth hormone essentially, and you want to try to take that HCG to rebuild cartilage and rebuild bone. That along with collagen peptides, basically just making sure that I'm taking all the essential amino acids, which I think is a lot easier when you're eating a predominantly meat and fat diet, because every single bite that you're taking is just full of those satiating amino acids, and then of course those more bioavailable vitamins, and then of course all the fat with the vitamin A and vitamin K2, which are good for your teeth. So I would assume that would be good for your bone as well. So those are things that I'm trying. Another thing that I do every single day is I get outside besides grounding, and I make sure that I get sunlight. And I am having a really hard time standing up right now. All the blood flow is just kind of pulling down into that leg. So whenever I stand, I can't stand for more than maybe 5 minutes before it gets so achy that I can't help it. And I have to just get back down and have it, just in a, I guess, neutral position. So trying to stand outside on the front deck and getting sunlight is not really an option for me. Plus all my kids are typically out there, and then my dog, and I'm just really nervous about losing my balance and falling. And Jeff and the older two kids need to be out doing firewood. So I need to be wise about what I do whenever I get up. It needs to just be necessary. Like, do I really need to get up? Because I don't want to put myself in a worse position, because then that puts our entire family in a bad position. So something I'm doing is I just have over here behind my camera, I just have a full spectrum daylight light bulb. So I've been turning that on and being really specific about trying to like face that and get that light into my eyes. And I turn it off around noon. And then from noon on, all the lights in our house, like including just like our lamps, we do orange, kind of an orange hue tone to those. And at night we turn off all the overhead lights, because we have full spectrum lights on all the ceiling lights. So we turn those off and we just have these, so that we can start allowing our body to produce all of the hormones that the body needs to get sleepy. And then I have some orange blue blocker glasses that I put on if I'm going to be on my phone, or if I'm going to like watch a movie on my laptop in bed or something like that. So that is helping me a lot with my sleep, but also just my mental health, because I really struggle with anxiety and depression, and getting grounding and getting sunlight every day has been a game changer for me, adding that to also a carnivore diet and taking some targeted supplements. And then speaking of supplements, I've mentioned on the carnivore diet, we really don't take supplements because the carnivore diet is so nourishing. But I do still take a multivitamin because I'm nursing. And with that, it comes with a mood vitamin. And that mood vitamin has helped me so much with anxiety and depression. That mood vitamin is not just good for if you're pregnant or postpartum. It works great for any woman in any season because it helps to balance those hormones. I even give them to my teenage daughters whenever they need them. And I am affiliated with them, and I do have their link along with a 15% off code in the description of this video. And I'm just sharing that that's what I'm doing, but I'm not saying that you have to do that. I am promoting it because I'm affiliated with them, but I'm only promoting it because I've tried it. I've bought it myself long enough, and for me, they work. that doesn't mean they work for everyone. So that's another thing I'm doing for my nutrition and mental health, because I am still nursing. So the multivitamin and the mood vitamin. And then 2 supplements I have found, technically 3, has been GABA. And GABA is something that is produced in the gut, and it's needed in the brain for, I think it's serotonin. So just feeling happy, feeling relaxed, feeling calm. So GABA, GABA. And then 5-HTP, and 5-HTP helps with pain and relaxing the body. So at night I will take 1 GABA, 1 5-HTP, and then another supplement called L-theanine, which is a form of magnesium. So those 3 supplements combined just help me to calm down and to get to sleep at night. I have a little guy coming in here to check. Are you checking on me? Yeah. Another supplement for mood, and that is a probiotic, and more specifically a bacteria called L. reuteri. And I found out about this bacteria probably 6 months ago, maybe a bit longer than that ago. And it's a bacteria that has been in the gut of all humans and all animals, but antibiotics have completely wiped it out. So if you've ever had antibiotics, you don't have L. reuteri in your gut unless you're specifically taking it. So I have a probiotic specifically with L. reuteri in it, and that's supposed to help with the production of serotonin and a bunch of other really good, feel-good chemicals and hormones and things like that in the gut. And I know I said I wasn't going to do links to the research in this video, because it's just sort of like I'm just kind of winging the video and telling you guys like what happened, and then like what I'm doing to help heal my body as well as help my mind and all that. But I will just, like, in the comments, I'll just write down each of the supplements, because that way you could go look it up and just choose whatever brand you wanted if any of this resonates with you, and if you're interested to try any of these things. So those are the things I'm doing for my mental health, the sunlight, grounding, those specific supplements. For my bone in particular, I said the carnivore diet, collagen peptides, and colostrum. But a new supplement that I am trying, and I have read about it, I've been reading about it for probably 3 years now, is creatine. And when I hear creatine, I associate it with bodybuilders. And it's a supplement I never thought that I would ever take or need. But I read that they're finding creatine acts better than depression medications on the brain, because it basically builds up your brain, it builds up your muscles. So that's a new supplement that I'm trying. I just Jeff bought it for me, just a powdered creatine. It was something he found at Costco, actually. And I'm taking about 5 grams a day. He's taking more because he's 6'4", and I don't know how much he's taking. I'm 5'6", so I'm taking 5. And I think the lady who I was listening to talk about the dosing, she said anywhere from 5 to 10 grams. And then it just depends on what you're doing. So he's doing a lot of physical work right now, so he's going to up his dose. I'm not doing physical work, obviously, because I'm in bed, but I do want to rebuild my body, and I want to keep my mind from going down into a spiral of depression, because I'm a very active person. I love being outside. I hate being stuck indoors, and this is my reality, and I need to make the best of it. So I'm going to do what I can to preserve my mental health and then rebuild my body, so that when I can start walking, I can start working on this knee and rebuilding strength, because I was having so much fun playing baseball. I was running, and it was really the first kind of play physical activity that I had done since having Melissa, my 8th baby. And I was thinking, oh, this is, we should do more of this next summer. We should plan to come out here with groups and play baseball. And I was just having a great time. And when I was sitting in the ER, I was sort of feeling sorry for myself, because I thought, oh man, am I ever going to be able to do this again? Am I going to be able to run and play? And just, I'm 40, and I'm just not ready to accept not playing, not running. Like I'll run and I will play and I'll do all those things as long as I can. Like if I can do it as a grandma, I'll do it, you know, if the Lord allows that. So I'm definitely going to be persistent to rebuild my body, keep my mind strong and sharp, to not wallow in this situation, but rather just embrace this challenge, embrace the season of life, and make the most of it and use my time wisely. And that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share those few things, and I'll just write some of those supplements out in the comments for anybody who might be interested. And again, sorry, no scientific links today, but as I research each thing, I will be sure to put the actual research in there so it's not just me saying it. And I definitely want to share with you guys all the things that I'm trying and what I find works and what I find doesn't work. So I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.